Hi everyone, happy weekend. I am back after feeling sick and not feeling well. I have my voice back. I feel rejuvenated. I am less stressed and I am happy to be in this place. So without further ado, I'm about to get to this. So if you miss the episode, you can watch the replay on Instagram feed, or you can just go on my YouTube and watch the episode. You can also look for clips on Twitter and TikTok. So here it is. COVID numbers, because we're still in the midst of a global pandemic. We are year 4 into this. Yeah. So global confirmed cases of COVID-19, according to the Johns Hopkins University in Medicine website, it's 668,252,258 confirmed cases. Global death toll is at 6,734,780. U.S. confirmed cases are as follows: 101,958,808. And the U.S. death toll is 1,103,681. So we at 1.1 million deaths here in the United States of America. So let's just repeat these numbers again. So there's 668,252,258 cases around the world, confirmed cases. The global death toll is at 6,734,780. U.S. confirmed cases are at 101,958,808, and the U.S. death toll is 1,103,681. And as for what we need to know about the XBB 1.5 Omicron's latest variant, 4 weeks ago, this caused less than 10% of the COVID-19 cases in the U.S. Now it's causing more, 25% of them. Virologists in different areas are saying we should be concerned about it. So the XBB family of variants emerges a few months ago and caught virologists' attention because it contains more mutants to invade immunity than any other variant. XBB 1.5 variant has a mutation that virologists believe is helping the virus better bind to the cells and thus be transmissible. What has happened with this variant now has quickly become a higher percentage of total COVID cases in the United States. However, we're not seeing this variant cause the same type of surges in overall cases as Omicron did when you entered last winter, which that's crazy, but the vaccine are still protecting against severe diseases, which is true. The latest variant should be reminded that we have tools to fight off COVID infections and minimize severe diseases. Vaccinations are still protecting people. Antivirals are still capable of treating infections of XBB 1.5. You just had to use those tools over the last 6 months. And people who already had COVID were more likely to be reinfected with XBB 1.5, which is possibly true, and everybody should get their boosters. So this thing is still out and proud with COVID. So please, I urge you to get vaccinated if you didn't. I don't want to have to repeat this goddamn conversation about the vaccine being safe, because I already said it. It's safe already because I'm vaccinated and I'm boosted. And continue to wear your mask and mitigate. Wear your mask. Even if you have to double mask or triple mask, do what you do. N95s, surgicals are still out there. You can still order them. And I wear my surgical and I wear my fashionable mask over my surgical. That's what I do. And I do the N95s at the gym. It's important. What's up, Joseph? Hey, Jackie. So now let's get to the people that are vaccinated in this country. So 205,047 Americans got their vaccinations as yesterday. So a total of 229.4 million Americans, that is 71% of the population, is vaccinated. As the president stated before, his goal was 70% back in July of 2021, and it took to September of 2022 to get to his goal. And we're still people getting vaccinated. So 29% of Americans just refuse to be dumbasses. So this is where we are. But we realize vaccinations and mask wearing will reduce the surge of COVID-19. And that's what we're learning. So, enough with that. So, of course, the former twice impeached bum from Jamaica estates that used to occupy the White House, his lawsuits were dumped. So, a little briefing with that. So, a judge in Florida sanctions the bum and his lawyer nearly $1 million for completely frivolous Clinton lawsuits, because he sued Hillary Clinton back like a couple years ago. So, a Florida-based judge has ordered nearly $1 million in sanctions against the bum and his lawyer, calling the former resident of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue a mastermind of strategic abuse of the judicial process. In a blistering 46-page order, the U.S. District Court Judge Donald Middlebrooks said the bum's sprawling lawsuit against Hillary Clinton and dozens of former Justice Department and FBI officials was almost cartoonish abuse of legal system. He said, here we are confronted with a lawsuit that should never have been filed, which was completely frivolous, which is stupid, that's the word of it, and both factually and legally, and which was brought in bad faith for an improper purpose. That's what the judge wrote. The bum is prolifically and sophisticatedly litigant who is repeatedly using the courts to seek revenge on political adversaries, which we all knew that. He is the mastermind of strategic abuse of judicial process and cannot be seen as a litigant blinding, following the advice of a lawyer. He's a bad witness, always been. Why do you think he always had to settle his whole entire life? And he ordered him to pay $938,000 to cover the legal costs for the 31 defendants the bum is linked to in his year-old lawsuit. It's the second time Middlebrooks has sanctioned the bum and the bum's lawyer in the Clinton lawsuit. The first time was $50,000 in order to sort of a legal defendant, Charles Dolan. And his lawsuit was thrown out. It was stupid. And then today, what we learned from my AG of New York, which I found it to be hilarious. So, because of the bum and his lawyer got sanctioned $1 million in Florida, the bum today withdrew his lawsuit against my AG, Letitia James. And it states here, less than a day after receiving a warning from a judge in Florida, the bum withdrew his lawsuit against New York Attorney General Letitia James. The withdrawal came in a brief document filed on Friday morning with the U.S. District Judge Donald Middlebrooks, who late Thursday warned the bum legal team that the lawsuit appeared to be verged on frivolous stupidness. The plaintiff, the bum, through his undersigned counsel and partisan to federal or civil whatever, hereby voluntarily dismissed the claims and actions against the defendant Tish James without prejudice, the letter says. The bum's lawsuit against the AG has sought to shield the bum's trust from AG James, who has an ongoing $250 million civil suit that alleges fraudulent conduct at Trump Organization. The AG accused the bum and his family members of grossly inflating the former bum's new worth of billions of dollars and of cheating lenders and other false and misleading financial statements, which is true. The bum, who has denied these allegations, called the investigation a political motive witch hunt by the AG, as he called her racist. And and he accused her of intimidation and harassment, of making repeated attempts to steal, destroy, or control all things by him. Let's see. Middlebrooks, the judge in Florida, ordered the bum and his lawyer to pay fines from, suing the former presidential candidate of 2016 on the Democratic side, which is stupid. He sued her again in 2022 for allegedly acting in a concert with the FBI leadership to intend for him knowing of the Russia investigation of the 2016 election, which he did, had help, and it was proven. So, I'm saying all this to give context, like, I knew this man was a bum from when I was a child. I grew up here in New York City. I know that whole family, him and his children, they are all bums. They're all bottom of the barrel, quote unquote, rich people. They were never rich. He was always settling in court because he was always dodging somebody and always being fraudulent and always shysting people out of their deals. So I don't know why, once again, in 2016, all those gullible ass white people, including white women, 53% of y'all in 2016, 55% of y'all in 2020. Let's see, some of the black men, 8%, and then 16, 20% of y'all knuckleheads voted for this man who is a well-known bum. This man has no money. He's not rich. He will never be rich. Obviously, he bamboozled y'all. All the policies that he has passed with the most racist political party in our history books. He has basically promoted racist policies, and yet people still voted for this man in large numbers almost 3 years ago. How do you feel that this man is broke and this man is using you guys to donate to him for his pockets? You must feel stupid. So all of this that I'm saying is, as a native New Yorker, current resident of the city and the state, Donald John Trump is a bum. He always been a bum. He will forever be a bum. He was never rich. He blew a lot of money, and he's just an asshole. There, I said it. For the mouth of one who knows, real New York society folks dislike him. We never liked him. After what he did with the kids at the Central Park 5 when I was 3 years old back in 1989. With the Gambino family. What he did with them, with the casinos. He was a whole entire snitch. You want to talk about suing the FBI? How about he was a snitch for the FBI back in the 80s? Oh, nobody know that. Oh. Okay. Fine. But yeah, he's a bum. He's a bum. A whole entire one. So, enough with that bum, because I don't like to talk about that bum from Jamaica Estates. More stupidness. So, there's always been drama on the Hill, because I know I was going to talk about Justice Alito's opinion, because that's going to probably get to that. The Grand Old Party, also known as the Grand Insurrectionist Party, the MAGA Party, are passing bills to not just only ban abortion, but to ban abortion medicine. So, where is that? Yeah, it's the Jerry Springer party these days. So, after a bill about abortion pills sponsored, and the sponsor of the bill was Senator Tina Smith of Arizona, to give access to women to get affordable health care and access to it. Republicans' new tote line is not just only ban abortions, but to not get access to abortion pills as well. There was a march in D.C., March for Lives, and that march was protested by abortion activists. Of course. We're in the 50th anniversary of Roe versus Wade, the passage of the bill, which the vice president will be speaking at that event between this weekend, tomorrow, Sunday. And that bill is a landmark in our country, which 50 years ago, abortion, the right to get abortion in this country was the law of the land. And unfortunately, the bill was overturned. The law was overturned last year due to a case in Mississippi by our majority conservative Supreme Court, which includes Alito's opinion, which now the SCOTUS is researching, or no, doing an investigation, doing an investigation on it, because it was like, how that shit get leaked? That shit is crazy. They said never in the history the SCOTUS is being investigated because of Alito's opinion. And Alito and his wife met with a donor. So this is like a whole ass mess. But to the people that voted for, or continuously vote for, the Republican Party, this is all on y'all. I mean, to be quite real, when this opinion was leaked, and when the overturn of Roe versus Wade, or Roe v. Wade happened, there was signs of Rovember, right? Rovember for the abortion activists and the supporters of abortion. When the midterms came, y'all was the same ones, was Rovember, went and voted Republican in the midterms, or did not show up at all. And this conversation is for the 53% that voted for Republicans in the midterm elections in the House and in the Senate. Some of these races should have not been this close, but here we are. So, to the 53% of white women, and yes, I'm talking to this demographic especially because y'all the same demographic that poses yourselves as allies to black women and other women of color, but yet you go behind our backs, you lie in our face, and you vote for the Republican Party because you were not motivated or interested in the Democratic candidate. How does it feel to have your rights as a woman be in jeopardy? Democracy in jeopardy. That includes your freedom of speech. Includes you walking around being who you are, loving who you are, loving the person who you with, doesn't matter their sex. How does it feel? Because y'all talked about Rovember, but you went and voted, 53% of you went and voted for the Republican Party. And you want us to stop shaming you for that? Am I, trying to be divisive? No, but you have to be honest. You can't, preach saying to protect women's rights and then do some backhanded shit like this. And because of y'all not being interested in the candidate, besides gerrymandering, mostly not being interested in the Democratic candidate, the House is for the Republicans. And the president is going to be in a lame duck situation, sort of, because laws can't get passed. And the debt ceiling, we hit our borrowing limit. And we have until June to do something about it. So 53%. Look what have you done. This is what you done. I mean, if you really want to get real, the 53% that voted for the Republican Party, the white women that voted for the Republican Party, you gave us a House that couldn't vote for their leader for speaker on the first ballot. It took 15 rounds for him to get the speakership. 6 present votes. And then what they first do, they put out an anti-abortion bill. Their rules package limits defense spending when our allies in Ukraine are fighting off our adversaries in Russia. I thought the Republican Party was supposed to be about defense spending, but obviously not the case. And now they can't even pass a bill to address the borrowing limit, the debt ceiling, because they don't want to work with the president. When you are the Speaker of the House, no matter what party you belong to, you have to work with the executive branch of that party, whether it's the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. And Kevin McCarthy is not fit to serve. So once again, 53%, look what you have done. You put the president basically in a bind where he can't get his legislative goals passed because of the House is broken. Great job. But I hope out of 53% of you, 3% of you will learn your lesson and vote for Democrats. I would like for at least 10-15% of you to do so, but I know it's asking for much. It's like pulling teeth. So your money's going to be wasted on bullshit ass investigations that makes no fucking sense. Bullshit ass legislation that makes no fucking sense. And no, they're not going to solve the inflation issue. So good job. But I hope you learned your lesson. Because black women are tired of telling you what's up. Just saying. The Republican Party has become more disturbing and wicked than ever. They've been disturbing since 1968. Northern Republicans got up with Southern Democrats, Dixiecrats, and they all became Republicans, because that's the truth. And I already addressed some moderate-leaning, moderate-leaning Republicans, but I would like to address some, independent voters who are deciding whether they should vote for the president for re-election. or want somebody else to run. So, there's been a lot of speculations talking about if the president, announces his reelection, should the vice president run with him, or should they get somebody from an opposing party like a Liz Cheney to run with this president. Let me just tell y'all something. Elizabeth Lynn Cheney and President Biden are very different on ideology and many more things. They are vastly different from each other. How the hell is Liz Cheney going to govern with a president who's more left-leaning when it comes to his policies? Because she's not. She is just as MAGA as Donald Trump. The difference is her words are a little bit more sophisticated, and her presentation is more refined. But she is just like those knuckleheads left in the house on her side. She's just like them. She was for this former twice impeached resident saying the election was rigged. She was for it. So why is people propping her up as a hero? Because she did the one right thing, told the truth, and served on the 1-6 committee? Elizabeth Lynn Cheney is not your friend. She congratulated the overturn of Roe v. Wade. She don't give a damn. She voted against the Voting Rights Act and the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. So her running on the same ticket as the president for 2024, it's asinine as hell. So all you fever dreaming white liberals, white moderates, centrist voters, that's not happening. Vice President Harris is running on the same ticket as President Biden, whether you like it or not. No, she's not going to step down to be your AG. And Letitia James is not going to work in Washington as your AG. You're stuck with Merrick Garland until Merrick Garland decides he resigns and give it to Sally Yates or whoever. But it's not going to be the vice president nor my AG in New York. So give it up. And another thing, to Bill Crystals, to Miles Taylors of the world, black women are not here to clean up your mess. We're not. So if you're looking for that, go find somewhere else. Go find a maid. We're not cleaning up your mess. And that's just it. So your political takes ain't shit. Y'all just need to shut the fuck up. Point blank, period. Unless you want to vote for Donald Trump. I'm just saying. And just overall to the mainstream media. Because I meant to say this weeks ago. How does it feel that now that the Republican Party has the House, nothing's going to get done? Because you guys were the same fools that were saying Democratic Party ain't doing nothing. They're not together. They're not united. But they got shit done. Was Nancy Pelosi embarrassed when it came for people voting against her? Only 3 or 4 people or 5 people voted against her. She still got her speakership on the first round. It took Kevin Owen McCarthy 15 rounds to become the speaker. But y'all wanted to come for Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic Party. How does it feel now that y'all got to deal with Kevin McCarthy and his MAGA Field Dream Party? Doesn't feel good, doesn't it? No. Y'all got what y'all deserve. And there's also one more thing I have to mention. Kevin Owen McCarthy is one of the weakest speakers next to Paul Ryan. Because he does not have control of his party. And he let the most problematic people in his party have, key positions on committees that were investigating them 2 years ago. Marjorie Taylor Greene is on, I think, the Ethics Committee. Paul Gosar is serving on one of those committees. And Jim Jordan is the chairman of the Judiciary Committee. The same guy who is responsible in the investigation of, it's part of men in his wrestling team being sexually harassed by another coach, who now they're being investigated. But he is the chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Republicans are going to lose the House in 2024 because of this bullshit. Because of these appointments. And then you take off Eric Swalwell from his committee assignments. How does that make sense? How taking off the most competent congressman, whether he is from the opposing party, off his committee assignments, but put documented, well-known insurrectionists on key committees? How does that work? But Kevin McCarthy, you're going to reap what you sow, because you're not going to be the speaker in 2024. You're going to lose your speakership. And the House is going to get clean and swept by Democrats coming in 2024. Because of this crazy, stupid shit that you've done. You basically, sold your soul to the devil. I mean, you did already, but now it's just on a much higher level. So congratulations, Kevin Owen McCarthy. You did it. You got what you wanted. Be prepared to lose it next year. Oh, Michelle Steele she's so white adjacent. Ooh. But I appreciate you, Joseph, for doing the Lord's work, going after her. I really do. Because you was doing the damn thing. That's what work looks like, Joseph. Congratulations to you. But I am going to call this a night because I'm tired. And I just want to thank everybody for supporting me. I still got this little cough. But I appreciate everyone for watching. And you can look on the YouTube page and whatnot. And Joseph, please come back to Twitter. I miss you. I miss you on Spaces. I miss you so much. Until then, have a good night.